Now, as far as the conservatorship piece, who currently has possession of the child?
Trayvon has possession of the child willingly. I feel like he kidnapped him without my permission. I have no contact with my son.
The child lives with Mr. Hoskins.
Yes, he kidnapped him. He kidnapped from me.
You have not filed anything.
He kidnapped him without my consent and moved to a whole other county.
The state's rating on number 27.
27 is Jasmine Locke and Trayvon Hoskins.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're on a petition to establish the parent-child relationship. We have a partial agreement with some contested issues. Parties are in agreement for Mr. Trevor Hoskins to be established as the father of the child born December 29, 2023. Parties are in agreement that there has been family violence in the past 2 years. Parties agree the mother is currently working at a temp agency and is accepting jobs as they come. The father is not requesting child support or retro due to the mother's financial situation. That is the extent of the agreements at this time, Your Honor. At this time, I'd like to call the parties to confirm those agreements and also discuss the contested issues.
We go ahead and do testimony, but I'm going to order Ms. Locke to pay child support unless there's something unusual happening. So just understand that when you start answering questions later, she's going to be ordered to pay some amount of child support.
At this time, I'd like to call the mother. Ma'am, can I get you to state your full name for the record?
Jasmine Marie Locke.
Thank you so much. Now, did you hear the previously agreed to terms I read out to the record?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe those agreements are in the best interest of your child?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Now, I'd like to move on to the contested issues. Now, as far as the medical support, how is the child currently covered under health insurance?
Medicaid.
And would you like him to keep that coverage?
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason you would rather have the child on Medicaid as opposed to possibly the father's insurance?
It's not really a reason. I just didn't see the difference very much. So he's already covered. So
okay. Well, the state would be of the mind that if the father has insurance at a reasonable cost available to him, that the father carry that insurance through his employer. Now, if you had a reason, like you go to the same doctors or
yes, sir.
Or things of that nature, are you basically saying Medicaid better fits your medical situation for the child?
Yes, sir. He has a doctor here in Bell County.
And that's why you're asking that he continue to have Medicaid, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So would you be in agreement or disagreement with giving the father a standard possession order with the over 100 miles provisions?
He's the custodial parent, Mr. Williams.
My apologies, Your Honor. Ma'am, would you be in agreement to having a standard possession order where you would be able to have visits based on the 100 miles apart provisions in that order?
Yes, sir.
So where would you like to have the pickups and drop-offs take place?
Preferably in Buc-ee's in Temple, Texas.
Temple, that's an address closer to you, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm currently on probation. I cannot leave the county. That's why I requested something closer.
Yes, ma'am. And the probation, was it to do with anything involving violence between yourself and Mr. Hoskins or the child?
No, sir.
Now, as far as the conservatorship piece, who currently has possession of the child?
Trayvon has possession of the child willingly. I feel like he kidnapped him without my permission.
How long has he been in possession of the child?
That's February 20th.
Now, since he's had possession of the child, who's been making the day-to-day decisions regarding the child?
Trayvon.
Do you have any say in those decisions at all?
No, I have tried. They will not contact me. I have no contact with my son. I try, but I get no response.
So is that the reason you're seeking a joint managing conservatorship with the father today?
Yes, sir. I just want what's best. I feel like he deserves both parents.
Do you believe you and Mr. Hoskins can make decisions together that could to equally co-parent the child? Do you think y'all could work together to raise this child?
Yes, sir.
As far as the medical, the state is requesting, if the child were to stay medical, the state is requesting that they be paid at $60 per month beginning July 1st, 2025. Would you be in agreement or disagreement with that?
Disagreement.
And why is that?
60 months. He's already covered through his Medicaid, so.
You do understand that Medicaid is not free, Ms. Locke, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as far as the payment that's being paid out is money going back to the state for the coverage for the child. Does that change whether or not you agree with that medical at $60 per month?
Yes, sir.
So now you do agree to the medical at $60 per month? Is that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. I believe that is the extent of the questions I have for you now currently, ma'am. At this time, Your Honor, I'd like to call the father. Mr. Hoskins.
Hold on, Mr. Williams. What about child support?
I'm currently messaging the person that prepped the case to get the child support amount because I don't have it currently. I was going to revisit that after I question the father and get the agreement, Your Honor, if that's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, can I get you to state your full name for the record?
Trayvon Marquise Hoskins.
Thank you, sir. Can you give me the names and age of the child we're here for today?
Kimani Dior Murray. He's going to be 1 year old. Birthday December 29th, 2023.
Thank you so much, sir. And just to confirm, you aren't seeking DNA in this case. Is that correct?
No, I'm not seeking DNA.
You're asking the court to establish you as the father of the child in today's case. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you, sir. Now, did you hear the agreements I previously read out into the record?
Yes.
Are those still the agreements between yourself and the other party?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe those agreements are in the best interest of your child?
Yes, sir.
Now let's move on to the contested issues, which is the name change. You heard the mother's testimony that she will be requesting the name be hyphenated. Is that what you're requesting the last name to be as well, or what would you like the last name to be changed to, sir?
That's correct. I agree.
You're in agreement?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Now, as far as the possession, are you in agreement with giving the mother the standard possession order for over 100 miles?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Now, as far as the exchange location, the mother is suggesting the Buc-ee's in Temple, Texas. Would you be in agreement for that to be the exchange location?
Is there any way that we can make it a little closer to Dallas? Because that would be requiring me driving majority of the way. I understand that she may be under some type of travel restrictions at the time, but I work 2 jobs. So it's a little hard, but if that is the case, maybe I can't agree.
Would you possibly be in agreement to meet at the Buc-ee's in Hillsboro?
Correct.
Now, would you be requesting that your mother, Michelle, be the person doing the pickups and drop-offs for the exchange?
Correct.
So that is your request as far as the actual exchange location?
Yes, sir.
And now I want to move on to the actual medical support. The child is currently covered, it seems, but it looks as though you would like to have the child put on your insurance. Is that correct?
Correct. I would like to place Kimani under TRICARE through the military.
Now, is it possible for you to find the cost of that through TRICARE?
Averaging cost for a minor is right around $74.94 per month.
We're going to ask that the mother reimburse you the cost of that for the cost of the TRICARE at $75 per month. Would you be in agreement or disagreement for the mother to reimburse you the cost beginning July 1st, 2025?
That's fine. I'm in agreement.
Okay. Now, I want to move on to the final piece that you guys appear to be disagreeing with, and that's the conservatorship. Did you hear the mother's testimony that you've had possession of the child since February 2025?
That is incorrect. I've had my child since February 2nd. She had visited with him prior, had returned him to my mom's house saying that he was sick. She could not get him to eat. Once we came back picked him up, returned him home, we had brought him back. She was supposed to pick him up. She didn't. We came when we were coming back. We brought him back home, and he's been with us since then. February 20th, he was around that time. He was with his grandmother, my mom, but he was still in my possession at that time.
But I don't know if you heard me before. Is it true you've had possession since February 2025 of this year, February of this year?
That's correct.
Now, as far as, did you hear the mother's testimony previously where she's requesting a joint managing conservatorship?
Yes.
And as far as the conservatorship piece, do you believe the two of y'all can make decisions together to equally co-parent the child?
Yes.
So you would be in agreement with a joint managing conservatorship, is that correct?
Correct.
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to pass this witness as well.
But I still need some questions on child support.
Your Honor, my apologies. Let me recall Ms. Locke, if you don't mind. Ms. Locke, I have one additional question for you. It looks as though we use the minimum wage presumption to calculate your income. Using the minimum wage presumption, we came out with a gross monthly amount of $1,257 and a net amount of $1,100. We're going to ask that child support be set at $193 per month. Would you be in agreement or disagreement with that, Ms. Locke?
Disagreement.
And could you explain to the court why you disagree?
I disagree because I feel like Kimani was ripped from me, and he stated that he's been having Kimani since January 2nd. That is incorrect. I have proof of me dropping him off February 20th for his birthday party and them never responding to me or having any access to my child, and then getting served child support papers 3 days later and stated that we are not going to court for child support numerous times, not only out of his mouth, his spouse's mouth, and the attorney general. I was off the assumption that today was not for child support whatsoever.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell the court about your case, Ms. Locke?
Yes, sir. When I left Trayvon in January, it was in fear to my life. We were co-parenting through his mother. We were going back and forth, no issues. Asked me, hey, can you drop me off for Trayvon's birthday?
I don't really need to know about the child being a certain date or y'all just disagreeing with dates. The child lives with Mr. Hoskins.
Yes, he kidnapped him. He kidnapped from me.
You have not filed anything.
He kidnapped him without my consent and moved to a whole other county. I feel like this is unfair.
You're talking over me, Ms. Locke?
As of I pay child support.
You're talking over me, and then you want me to do something in your favor? That's not going to work. You have not filed anything legally with the court to get the child back. You haven't hired an attorney, haven't done anything. So you can't complain that he kidnapped the child if you haven't haven't filed anything on your own.
I don't have the money for an attorney, and I've talked to police.
You haven't filed anything. Don't tell me that he kidnapped the child if you haven't filed anything with the court. This is what we're doing today. All right, so let me go ahead and make a decision here. It's pretty easy here. We're establishing Mr. Hoskins as a biological father legally. Mr. Hoskins is admitting to paternity. Y'all have agreed that there's been a finding of family violence. I don't know why we're discussing conservatorship. It's automatically going to be sole managed conservatorship, because if there's family violence issues before, then that tells me y'all cannot reach agreements on things, so there's no reason to even talk about joint managing. Mr. Hoskins will be a sole managed conservator for him to make the decision, since y'all can't do that together. Y'all have agreed to a name change. Y'all agreed to a mutual non-disclosure of your address since y'all can't get along. Y'all agreed to no geographic restriction, which of course makes sense since y'all don't live in the same place. A court cost bill to Ms. Locke. As far as insurance is concerned, the child should not be on Medicaid under Ms. Locke. Child does not live with Ms. Locke. Mr. Hoskins, you're going to be ordered to carry health insurance through your employer. You will be the one primarily ordered to provide insurance, and we shouldn't have Medicaid if the child doesn't live with Ms. Locke. So that needs to be changed. We're doing visitation, standard visitation orders, which is what we're going to do, which is first, depends on where y'all live. If you live over 100 miles apart like you do now, it's 1 weekend per month. I'm not doing exchange location where the mother lives. That doesn't make any sense. Normally the pickup and drop offs will be with where Mr. Hoskins lives, but if y'all want to meet in Hillsborough, that's fine. That makes sense. That's about halfway. Y'all aren't that far apart, but that's a reasonable request. That'll be the exchange location. If you're not able to go there, Ms. Locke, that's not my issue. That's not Mr. Hoskins' issue. If you have some criminal issues that are preventing you from leaving the area, that's not nothing I can do about. If you can resolve your other issues that are unrelated to this case, you can go to Hillsborough to do the pickup and drop-offs. I'm not dictating who's going to be there. Y'all can designate who will do pickup and drop-offs. Obviously, don't pick a person that's going to cause a fight or anything like that, but y'all will meet there for the exchanges. Since y'all live over 100 miles apart, we don't know which weekend you're available for, so you need to let Mr. Hoskins know in advance. You cannot keep the child after your visitation ends. There will be a court order that gives Mr. Hoskins custody. That's what we're doing here in this order. So if there's any thoughts about taking the child and not bringing him back, that's not going to happen. That will actually be a kidnapping charge if you did that. You're going to return the child back at the Buc-ee's in Hillsborough at the end of your visitation. A medical support ordered against the mother in the amount of $75 a month to reimburse the father for health insurance. And Ms. Locke, you got to pay child support. It has nothing to do with the past. This is about the future. The child lives with Mr. Hoskins, will live with Mr. Hoskins in the future, and so you have to financially support your child. Child support is ordered at $193 a month. You're going to pay both of those every month. You must make your payments through the child support office. You cannot pay them directly to Mr. Hoskins or to the child. If you don't make your payments, they can file an enforcement case against you, which could mean jail time. So it's very important that you pay your payments every month. So the Attorney General's office is going to put my ruling in a court order for me to sign. They will email you a copy. Y'all both must follow the orders, even if you don't agree, and that's the order of the court. Y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.